In the heart of South Korea lies Daejeon, a city known for its innovation, its peaceful communities, and most of all, its schools. But in early 2025, that peaceful image shattered. What began as whispers in a school hallway would soon erupt into one of the most chilling child abuse cases the nation had ever seen. Daejeon is often called South Korea's Silicon Valley. It's modern, efficient, and deeply rooted in education. Families here take pride in sending their kids to top schools. Teachers are trusted, respected, even admired. But what happens when that trust is betrayed? In one quiet elementary school, something sinister had begun. A young boy, cheerful and bright, suddenly changed. He became withdrawn, anxious, silent. His mother noticed. She asked questions. At first everyone dismissed it as stress, but what she would uncover was far worse. The boy had always liked school, he had friends, he liked his math teacher, but something had shifted. He stopped wanting to go to class, he stopped speaking up, and one day, he refused to go to school at all. That's when his mother, a working parent in her late 30s, began pressing him for answers. It took days, maybe weeks, but eventually, the boy spoke, and what he said would send chills down her spine. He told her that his teacher had touched him, that she made him stay back after class, that he didn't understand why, but he felt scared. Wrong. Unsafe. The teacher was a woman in her 30s, someone the school had praised, someone the parents trusted, someone who, until now, no one suspected. The mother reported everything to the school, then to the police. What happened next would blow the case wide open. As the investigation began, secrets started to surface. Hidden messages, deleted footage, and a pattern that suggested this might not have been the first time. In part 2 of Betrayal in the Classroom, we dive into the evidence, the interrogation, and the moment the truth started to spill into the public eye. This was just the beginning. Subscribe to Twisted Tales for part 2, because sometimes the real horror hides in plain sight.
In part 1, we uncovered the first crack in Daejeon's perfect image. A child's quiet cry for help. A trusted female teacher, an elementary school, and a secret no one wanted to believe. But once the truth began to surface, there was no stopping it. The very same day the boy opened up to his mother, she went straight to the school. No hesitation, no delay. Her voice trembled, but her words were clear. "My son says his teacher touched him inappropriately more than once." The school froze. Within hours, the local education office was informed. By the next morning, a formal report had been filed with Daejeon Metropolitan Police. What began as a mother's heartbreak was now a full-blown criminal investigation. The accused teacher, a woman in her 30s with nearly a decade of experience, was placed on immediate administrative leave. Her school-issued laptop and mobile phone were seized. Her classroom was shut down. Students were quietly reassigned to other teachers. Parents began whispering, asking questions, but no one had answers. Not yet. Behind the scenes, investigators were moving fast. The priority preserved digital evidence before anything could be deleted. Investigators began combing through her messages. Deleted chat logs, cloud backups, private notes. One tech expert described the process like peeling back a digital mask. Some messages were innocent, reminders about schoolwork, feedback on assignments, but others raised alarms. Don't tell your mom about this, you're special, I don't talk to anyone else like this, stay after school, just you and me. Grooming language, subtle, manipulative, designed to confuse and control a child who didn't yet understand what was happening. This wasn't just abuse, it was calculated. With the help of child psychologists, the young boy gave his official statement. In a small room with soft toys and gentle voices, he recounted the incidents, slowly, hesitantly, but with heartbreaking clarity. He described being asked to stay behind after class, being touched, being told it was a game or lesson, being made to promise not to tell. He cried when he spoke, not out of fear, but confusion. And that's what broke the officers in the room. The moment media caught wind of the investigation, chaos erupted. News vans parked outside the school. Parents stormed the front office demanding answers. Some even pulled their kids out of class. The principal eventually addressed the press. Stiff and nervous, we are cooperating fully with the investigation. The safety of our students remains our highest priority, but his words rang hollow. Why weren't earlier complaints taken seriously? Why weren't teachers monitored more closely? Whispers began circulating that this wasn't her first questionable interaction with a student. Digging into her past, reporters found that during her time at a previous school, there had been anonymous complaints about her getting too close to certain male students. At the time, nothing came of it. No formal report, no follow-up, just a warning. Had someone acted back then, this tragedy might have been prevented. Now, her past was under a microscope. Every lesson plan, every message, every moment she spent alone with students. It all came back to haunt her. Across the country, anger grew. Social media exploded. The hashtag #ProtectOurChildren trended for days. TV panels debated how female offenders are often overlooked, how abuse by women is minimized, or even disbelieved. Activists demanded new laws. Parents demanded surveillance in classrooms. Some teachers feared being unfairly accused, but most stood with the victim, calling the betrayal unforgivable. South Korea had seen scandals before, but this one hit a nerve no one expected. The accused teacher was formally charged with multiple counts of child sexual abuse. Her trial was set. The city of Daejeon, once quiet and proud, now waited with uneasy silence. In the next episode of Betrayal in the Classroom, we take you inside the courtroom, where lawyers argue, witnesses cry, and the victim faces the woman who shattered his innocence.
April 2025. The courtroom was packed. Reporters, parents, child welfare advocates, and silent onlookers filled every seat. The accused entered quietly, escorted by guards. She wore a beige coat, no makeup, and kept her head down, her face expressionless. The judge called the room to order. The trial had officially begun. The prosecution opened strong, armed with digital evidence, expert testimony, and the heartbreaking statement of the young boy. They described a pattern of manipulation, repeated private meetings after class, inappropriate messages recovered from cloud backups, a clear abuse of power and trust. The lead prosecutor didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. The evidence did the talking. Then, he called the boy's psychologist to the stand. The psychologist described signs of trauma: bedwetting, anxiety, fear of school settings, and emotional shutdown. He explained how the child had been emotionally blackmailed into silence. She told him she'd be fired, or go to jail, and that it would be his fault. Gasps echoed in the courtroom. Even without the child physically present, his pain filled every corner of that room. The defense tried to cast doubt. They argued the messages were misunderstood. They suggested the child was confused, that maybe he misinterpreted her actions. Their tone, calm, cold, calculated. They even hinted that the mother may have coached her son for attention. But the judge wasn't convinced, and neither was the public, because the digital evidence, time-stamped and detailed, was undeniable. Then came the twist no one saw coming. Another student came forward, a boy from her previous school. He spoke softly, nervously, but his story was eerily similar. She made me stay back. She said I was her favorite. She touched me too. Suddenly it wasn't just one victim, now it was a pattern. The courtroom fell silent. Journalists scrambled to update headlines, and for the first time, the accused looked shaken. The trial stretched on for days. Each session revealed more: text logs, witness accounts, psychological damage. The evidence was overwhelming. Public protests formed outside the courthouse. People held signs: "Children deserve safety. No excuse for abuse. Protect, don't cover up." Online, the story went viral across Asia. This case forced South Korea to confront an uncomfortable truth: that abuse can come from anyone, that gender doesn't shield guilt, that victims can be boys and abusers can be women. Parents demanded reforms, schools revised safety policies, and lawmakers debated installing cameras in all classrooms. What started with a whisper had become a national movement. The judge was set to deliver the verdict in the next hearing. Would justice be served? In part 4 of Betrayal in the Classroom, we bring you the final verdict, the sentencing, and the aftermath that rocked Daejeon and the entire nation. This isn't just about punishment, it's about healing, about change.